Okay, we only have 2 more chapters in Kate's book. Today we have to go over the bookshop. And there aren't many words we haven't already learned. So the only 2 on the list today are pick up and shake on it. So pick up can mean to pick it up because it fell on the floor, or it can mean to buy it. If you say you're going to pick up a copy of a book at the bookstore, that means you're going to buy a copy of it. So remember, pick up can mean 2 things. It can mean it fell down and you're picking it up, or it can mean you're buying a copy, and that will be in the story today. Then shake on it. When 2 people shake hands, sometimes it's because they're just meeting, but when you say shake on it, it means you're agreeing on something. You're promising to do something, or you both agree on something. And that's what it will mean in the story today. So now we're going to switch to the book. And let's get to our questions first. The bookshop. Who is Stan Bender? Stan Bender writes Western books. Stan Bender is Nan's pal. Stan Bender is a bone man. Well, they told us that yesterday. But you'll meet him again in the bookstore. What did Kate ask Mr. Bender? So you know she's going to ask him a question. What sort of book would Kate like to make? And who will make the pictures for Kate's book? Kate will make the pictures, Stan will make the pictures, or Nan will make the pictures. So let's go in the story. And let's make it a little bigger. The bookshop. In the bookshop, there was a big stack of books. Next to the book sat Stan Bender, the man who wrote the books. He had a pen in his hand and a big smile on his lips. Okay, let's read that again. In the bookshop, there was a big stack of books. Next to the books sat Stan Bender, the man who wrote the books. He had a pen in his hand and a big smile on his lips. See all the people in line? A lot of people will go and they will meet their author at the bookstore. Now this is Nan talking. You'd smile too if your book were selling as well as his is, Nan said. Let's read that again. You'd smile too if your book were selling as well as his is, Nan said. He's smiling because it's nice to meet the people who want to read your book, but also he's making a lot of money. Nan and I went and stood in line to meet Stan Bender. Let's read that sentence again. Nan and I went and stood in line to meet Stan Bender. Nan shook hands with him and said, I've got 12 of your books. This one was your best book yet. So Nan likes that book. Let's read that again. Nan shook hands with him and said, I've got 12 of your books. This one was your best book yet. The man smiled and said, That's sweet of you. I hope you will pick up my next one too. There it is. When the man says, I hope you will pick up my next one too, that doesn't mean the book is on the floor. He's hoping she'll buy the next book. So remember, when you say you're going to go to the store and pick something up, that means you're going to buy something. I will, said Nan. Then the man wrote, Best wishes, Stan Bender, in Nan's book. It's not nice to write in books, but when you meet the author, when you meet the man who wrote it, he might sign his name in your book. So let's read this. Then the man wrote Best wishes, Stan Bender, in Nan's book. Now this is Kate talking. Mr. Bender, I asked, how hard was it to write that book? Well, he said, This one was not all that hard. The last one I did was a lot harder. As we got back in the car, I said, Nan, I'd like to write a book. What sort of book would it be? Nan asked. Well, I said, Max and I found the T-Rex. Yes, you did, said Nan. And you and I found that coin. Yes, said Nan. And we are out here in the West. Yes. So it could be a bones and coins and Western sort of book. Why not, said Nan. If you write it, I will make the pictures. Remember, Nan's an artist. I said, shake on it, then we shook hands. So when you say shake on it, that's saying, do you agree with me? And then if you shake hands with the person, then you agree on something. Well, Stan Bender is an author. He writes books. It was the last chapter that really told us it was Western books. But this is the thing that you need to practice. What did Kate ask Mr. Bender? So you really need to pause the video and write down how to write this question. Kate asks Mr. Bender, then you have to get the rest of the words. Kate asks Mr. Bender. You should write that down. I'm going to say it again. Kate asks Mr. Bender. And you can write it on any piece of paper because your workbook got left at school, right? Now we'll get the quote, what she really asks. This is where she talks to Mr. Bender. Mr. Bender, I asked, how hard was it to write that book? So Kate asks Mr. Bender, how hard was it to write that book? Kate asks Mr. Bender, how hard was it to write that book? That's what you need to practice writing the sentence. I'm going to say it again. Kate asked Mr. Bender, how hard was it to write that book? I hope you're trying to write it. You can pause the video and finish your sentence. What sort of book would Kate like to make? Kate would like to make a bones and coins and Western sort of book. She wants to write about what she did with her grandmother. So you can put this one in your own words. What sort of book would Kate like to write? Kate wants to write a bones and coins and Western book. Kate wants to write a bones and coins and Western book. Let's look at the workbook again. What sort of book would Kate like to make? Kate would like to make. So you have to write that down and then pause the video. Kate would like to make a bones and coins and Western sort of book. So pause the video again and finish your answer. Who will make the pictures for Kate's book? Nan. Nan will make the pictures, and I'll show you where that is. Why not, said Nan. If you write it, I will make the pictures. And that's when they shake on it. They have an agreement. Kate, let's make that smaller so everybody can see it. Okay? So, tomorrow is the last chapter in Kate's book. And then Monday, we can get a new reading book.